All right, confession time. Money. I don't love it. I like using it, and sometimes giving it away is extremely rewarding. I'm originally from the beautiful island of Haiti, where I grew up till I was 14 years old. But growing up, I wasn't always the best at managing any cash that came into my hands. But instead of investing in real estate or stocks, I invested the occasional 5 or 10 Haitian dollars that my parents would give me, if memory serves, into other essentials. Oh, I'm talking free time. Bon pese aqui, please be released. But here's the thing. As much as I would have liked to argue this point at the time, there was absolutely zero rhyme or reason to where and when I spent that money. It was just mostly dictated by my stomach, amongst other things. So with that in mind, you ever had your parents or a voice of wisdom in your life tell you not to go shopping on an empty stomach? It's a real menace. So this week, our mundane focus is the mighty grocery list. Join me as we explore why this list is so important as it relates to how we live our daily lives, what it can look like if and when we refuse to use a grocery list, and lastly, how in the world we go about making a list in the first place. This is gonna be fun. He who fails to plan, plans to fail. Winston Churchill. Welcome to Lessons from the Mundane, the show where you and I are able to glean life-giving lessons from everyday things all around us, otherwise known as the mundane. My name is Jason, or you can call me Jace, your humble host for these next few minutes, and a fellow believer in living a life of abundance and fulfillment. Something, my dear viewer, I truly desire to share. With why? Oh, you. Have a plan, people. Have a plan. To some, grocery lists are that little piece of paper that they spend half an hour on, only to forget it at home, thus defeating the overall purpose. So let's use these 3 examples to make our point. Direction, focus, goals. These 3 words are usually used interchangeably, meaning you can swap them around based on taste or context, but they almost always point to the same double-sided result. On this side, it maximizes the use of time and resources as well as overall efficiency. And on the other side, at the same time, by connection, that means it minimizes the waste of time and resources as well as helping to prevent confusion of purpose or overall disorientation. And by the way, I would argue that clarity of purpose is more valuable than any sum of money. Money has its place and its uses. Trust me, I get that. But unlike purpose, a stack of cash cannot give you true fulfillment or peace of mind. So, as the good book says, write the vision, make it plain. There's so much we can unpack out of just that. But for the sake of time, let's try to make sure we can master step 1, which is write it down. Next up, what does it look like when we don't have a list? I think this quote by Bill Copeland, which blew my mind, by the way, covers the issue quite accurately. He said, "The trouble with not having a goal is that you can spend your life running up and down the field and never score." How frustrating is that? Translation? Say you're trying a new diet for medical reasons, or maybe recently you decided you just want a healthier lifestyle. Without the kind of grocery list that matches those end results, you can spend as much as you want at Target. For the uninitiated, it's Target, and still end up no closer to that goal thanks to not following the list. You see, my list of veggies keeps me from the aisle of pastries. So therefore, my list of financial goals keeps me far away from the road with financial holes. Can I get an amen? That makes sense. All right, let's wrap it up. How do we get a list? I want to say it's easy, but it's not. Simple, yes, absolutely. Easy, no. There's a difference. And sadly, we have to get to the place where we come to terms with that. But that's for another time. Here's an easy example of what I mean. I'm trying to make a somewhat edible pan-seared steak. Pretty simple. Most important thing, the steak. I've got no business looking at cans of tuna. Then you need butter, thyme, salt, pepper, And maybe some extra seasonings if you want to spice it up, but it doesn't really need all that. I know this information because I've cooked it before. And I've cooked it before because I was able to look it up. And I was able to look it up thanks to other people having already accomplished what I'm currently setting out to do. Here's what I'm saying. Life itself operates on code, if you like computers, or principles if you're more into words, or formulas if numbers is more your thing. Either way, life, and by connection, success, both have laws that apply to them. Therefore, you can use the stories of others as an adaptive blueprint for your own life. This means that even if Katie's success started out with her waking up every day at 4 a.m., it may not apply to you in that way yet. Either way, we can all probably agree that there's something about her waking up early that allows her to do and accomplish more. So if you usually roll out of bed at 9, try committing to 8 for a month. Try it out. Next thing you know, waking up at 7, which used to murder you, is actually now a viable option. Soon enough, 2, 3, 4 months later, you start actually beating your alarm clock to waking up at 6:30 every day. Congratulations, you've just mastered the ability to wake up when you need to. And maybe it never gets easy, but the discipline you've built up to that point takes care of itself. And what this has just done for you is add 2.5 more hours to your day for you to do whatever you need to do to get closer to that goal that you have. Oh, by the way, you notice how our success and fulfillment had absolutely nothing to do with comparing ourselves to Katie's progress? Y'all ain't ready for that. So do you believe me now when I tell you that grocery list or your goals in life is important? Of course, we'll have plenty of time to talk about the difference between having an overarching goal and your plan towards reaching that goal, and the fact that plans change, but that's for another time. So yeah, I get it. So don't be like old me, guys. Shop with a grocery list so that you don't end up spending more than you should, which will inevitably incur the undying wrath of a loving mother. It's super basic grocery lists. Mundane even, but their lessons forever remain. This was LFTM, or Lessons from the Mundane. My name is Jason, or you can call me Jace, and I speak favor and fulfillment over your life. You guys get the picture. I'll be seeing you.